the rent you should have paid if you had borrowed, if you had rented a house. So that is why I permit Jamaat to have one house for their use, personal use, because in that case they will save money on the rentals they have to pay, and they think they are paying interest, but it's not interest. It is the use of house for which they have to pay. And actually what they have to pay is the amount for which the exact amount which is the price of the house. So sometimes it is more advantageous. For instance, in London I studied the cases of these individuals by asking them to consult me before going into a transaction and let me study the prospects. So a large number of Ahmadi youth and also some old people consulted me before they decided in favor of buying a house. Apart from this study, it also helped them because I understood the market position better than many. So I advised them not to buy that house and wait for that and so on. So with the grace of Allah, it was always advantageous for them. But as far as this issue is concerned, many among them are so happy now that previously, so suppose they had to pay £600 of rentals per month. Now they bought a property in which they are living, and they are also renting out a portion of it to others, earning the 600s from that income, and they are living free. So this is not interest, this is a complicated affair where things are mixed up. So we have to study every case intelligently and in depth, and just not follow the misnomers or the common terminology used nowadays. Sometimes we think it's called a profit, while it is an interest. The customer is being a profit. So we have to move cautiously and carefully and examine everything case by case. Right? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum, Hazrat. My name is Sajid Khan. Khaksar is the president of Ahmadiyya Muslim Student Association.
MashaAllah, where?
New York.
Right.
On behalf of the association, I would humbly like to seek Hazur guidance on the role that an Ahmadi student must play on colleges and universities.
You see, already I have spoken so much on this. You write to the Ahmadiyya Intercollegiate Association, Pakistan, through, I think it should be another Talim, and they can provide you with all my addresses to students, because I have a long history of my personal relationship with students' affairs, right from my old student days. I was an active member of Ahmadiyya Intercollegiate Association of Lahore in pre-partition days. Then after the partition, Hadhrat Khalifatul made me the president of the association, or patron of the association. So in this capacity, I related with the students very freely and very often, and gave them my advice from time to time. So instead of my repeating all that, you better write to the Nazir Talim, because I remember having created there a cell for the students in which all the observations were collected, which were made by any caliph before or after.
Thank you. Jazakumullah. I would like to know, what is the Islamic viewpoint as far as genetic engineering is concerned?
I have again spoken on this subject. I think America is cut off from the rest of the world. It has to be rediscovered by Ahmadi Columbuses. How you can live in an island, isolated island, I can't understand. On genetic engineering, the most important thing to be remembered is that the only one invention against which Allah warns you is some employment of genetic engineering, because although there are so many predictions about the future inventions of man and discoveries, none has been declared by God as satanic. None of them, except this, where Allah warns you that Satan will incite people to give incisions in the ears of the animals and cattle, mainly cattle, and also it will incite people to change the creation of the world, of God. And that warning is given in such strong terms that nobody can miss the message that these people will be punished heavily by God. Now, why only genetic engineering, which deals with the change of the creation of Allah and not any other invention? Because I believe such people will be punished by their own invention, in fact. Genetic engineering is an area where man can lose control of its experimentation, and things may go completely out of hand of the scientists who are trying to change the nature of species by taking a small gene or a character from one species and adding it on to the genes of another species, hoping that that additional gene would create exactly the estimated change. That is a very far cry from reality. What is happening is not what the scientists think would happen. Already there are cases registered in this very country where they transferred a character from a gene of one animal to another animal, but it behaved completely in a different way than they had expected scientifically. So that is what I mean, how the punishment may take the form of Allah's wrath, because if the thing mishaps occur in a wider area, man may, unknowingly, inadvertently invent its own worst enemy in the form of some insects or some species of life which will attack man, and man will not be able to control, defend itself against it. So all these dangers are open. But genetic engineering is not always used to change the creation of Allah. It is also used to preserve the creation of Allah by removing the defects in the genes and characters, by transferring some healthy characters from other genes to a diseased gene, with the result that health is restored. So that practice cannot be referred to as change of the creation of Allah. In fact, it's exactly the opposite. That effort is in favor of preserving the character of what Allah has created. So as such, it cannot be condemned. So that is why I always tell, no need of this, please. It will only create noise now. That is why I tell Ahmadi students, research scholars, to only participate in that healthy pursuit and should not